There was butter leaking down my leg. Hey guys, Six Flags Over Georgia and Six Flags Great America are two Six Flags parks that are highly regarded and are some of the best parks when talking about Six Flags parks. I have been to both of these parks and I enjoyed my trip to both of them, but today we're going to find out which park is really better in a very, very extreme park battle. So I'm going to be comparing similar rides at each park and then awarding points accordingly. And at the end, we'll see which park has more points. So the first competition is going to be the B&M Hypers of the park. This is going to be Goliath versus Raging Bull. Goliath being at Six Flags Over Georgia and Raging Bull being at Six Flags Great America. And both these rides are really, really good. They both rank highly in my top 10. And they're both super enjoyable, but there is one that I do prefer, and that is Goliath at Six Flags Over Georgia. I just think the airtime is way better, and there's so much more airtime, and that double helix is super intense, and I grayed out the first couple times I rode it. And it's an overall amazing coaster. Now, this one is going to be worth 2 points since it's a major coaster, so yeah, Six Flags Over Georgia is winning 2-0. The next competition is going to be against the RMCs at the park. That's Twisted Cyclone for Six Flags Over Georgia and Goliath for Six Flags Great America. Both these rides are phenomenal and both these rides are very short. And one ride has a lot more airtime, and that is the ride that I'm going to be picking as the winner, and that is Twisted Cyclone at Six Flags Over Georgia. This ride is much, much smoother and it has so much more airtime. And although Goliath has the heightened speed, I think Twisted Cyclone is the better ride. Next up is Batman the Ride, and this is actually a cloned ride, and it's at both parks. So for that, both parks will only be receiving 1 point. And while I'm at it, I might as well mention Superman Ultimate Flight, because this is also a cloned ride, and it's at both parks. So again, both parks will be receiving 1 point. So because of that, that means Six Flags Great America has 2 points, and Six Flags Over Georgia has 6 points. The next category is going to be the classic Woodies in the park, which is Great American Scream Machine for Six Flags Over Georgia, and American Eagle for Six Flags Great America. This choice actually seems pretty easy for me, and that's going to be American Eagle at Six Flags Great America. This ride is way smoother, and it's way more enjoyable, and it's racing, so that's a whole nother aspect added to it. And overall, I think it's a much better ride than Great American Scream Machine. And this category was only worth 1 point because these aren't the best rides in the park. The next category is going to be more mild rides, so that's going to be Dahlonega Mine Train. I butchered that name. At Six Flags Over Georgia, and Whizzer at Six Flags Great America. I think I'm going to have to give this one to Whizzer at Six Flags Great America because it's much smoother and I really enjoyed this when I rode it. And it's a super fun, unique ride and everyone needs to try it if you go to Six Flags Great America. The next category is going to be Classic Cruise, which is Blue Hawk at Six Flags Over Georgia and Demon at Six Flags Great America. Now this is a tough decision, but I think I'm going to have to go with Demon at Six Flags Great America. Although it has a basic layout, especially compared to Blue Hawk, I'm choosing Demon as the winner because it's actually a really fun ride and you get some airtime in the back row on the drop, and I didn't get any headbanging on this ride and I thought it was pretty enjoyable. Where Blue Hawk, although you don't get any headbanging, it is pretty shaky. Also, if you're not talking about new generation, why would you pick a Vekoma Looper over an Aero Looper? Come on. That category was going to be worth 1.5 points because they're thrilling rides, but they aren't the best rides. And the rest of the coasters at both the parks aren't really similar enough to each other that I can compare, so I'll just tally up the points individually. So the extra coasters at Six Flags Over Georgia is Daredevil Dive, which will be worth 1.5 points. Mindbender, which will also be worth 1.5 points. Georgia Scorcher, that will be worth 1.5 points. And Joker's Funhouse Coaster, that will be worth half a point. And you add all those points together for a grand total of 5 extra points, bringing Six Flags Over Georgia to a total of 11 points. Wow! As for Six Flags Great America, we have Max Force, which is worth 2 points, X-Flight, which is worth 1.5 points, Sprocket Rockets and Little Dipper, which are each worth half a point, Vertical Velocity, which is worth 1.5 points, Viper, which is worth 1.5 points, Joker, which is only worth 1 point because it's not that good, and Dark Knight, which is worth half a point. Oh, and this isn't a POV, it's just a black screen, which it doesn't really make a difference because the whole thing's indoors and you can't see anything anyways. And all those extra coasters will bring Six Flags Great America to a total of 14 points. So that means beating the other park by 3 points is Six Flags Great America. Wow, that's great, America. And really, as you can tell by the close score, both these parks are really good, and I really loved both of the parks, and I would love to go back any day. They both have a fantastic coaster collection, and they are very top-notch. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you stuck with me on my wacky adventure. And also, don't forget, I upload every Saturday, so subscribe so you never miss a video, ever. Also, tell your friends and family to subscribe, because, woo, that would be wacky. Almost as wacky as Oscar's Taxi. Anyways, I'm Coaster Tice Tice. Hope you enjoyed the video, and always remember, Gatorade is a ripoff!